Ever had a beautiful ginger plant growing strong, only to harvest the whole thing at once and then have to start all over again from scratch? It's one of the most common mistakes I see gardeners make. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to prune and harvest your ginger, so it just keeps growing and producing fresh rhizomes for you month after month, potentially for years. Plus, stick around to the end, where I'll show you how to turn every piece you cut off into a brand new plant. Let's get into it. Ginger is one of those crops that most people treat as a one-and-done harvest. You plant it, wait 8 to 10 months, dig the whole thing up, and start over. But here's the thing. Ginger doesn't have to work that way. Once you understand how this plant actually grows and how to harvest it selectively, you can keep a single ginger plant producing for years. So let's start by understanding what's actually happening underground. Ginger grows from rhizomes, which are those knobby underground stems you buy at the grocery store. When you plant a piece, it sends up shoots from little bumps called eyes, or growth points. Each shoot that comes up is connected to its own section of rhizome below the soil. And here's the key. As long as you leave some of those shoots and their connected rhizomes in the ground, the plant will keep growing and expanding outward. It's constantly making new rhizomes and new shoots. Your job is just to harvest in a way that doesn't interrupt that cycle. So how do you know when your ginger is actually ready for this kind of selective harvest? You want to wait until the plant is well established with at least 5 or 6 healthy shoots coming up. This usually takes about 4 months from planting. At that point, the oldest rhizomes, the ones connected to your original planting piece, have matured enough to harvest while the newer growth continues developing. You can tell the older shoots because they're taller, thicker, and positioned toward the center of the clump. Now let me show you the actual technique. What you're going to do is gently dig around the outer edge of one of those mature shoots. Not the whole plant, just that one section. Follow it down to the rhizome it's connected to. You'll see that rhizome branches off from the main mass. Take a sharp, clean knife and cut that rhizome section away from the rest, leaving about an inch of stem attached. Pull it out, brush off the soil, and you've got fresh ginger. The key here is you're only taking mature outer sections. You're leaving the younger shoots and the central growing mass completely untouched. Now here's why this works, and this is really important to understand. When you remove one mature section, you're not damaging the plant's ability to keep growing. The younger rhizomes toward the center are still developing, still sending up new shoots, still expanding outward. You've just harvested one piece of a much larger system. Think of it like picking fruit from a tree. The tree keeps growing and making more fruit. Same principle here. If you're finding this helpful, take a second to subscribe so you don't miss more tips like these. Now let's talk about keeping this cycle going long term. Once you've done your first selective harvest, you want to let the plant recover for about 4 to 6 weeks before harvesting again. During that time, keep the soil consistently moist and feed with a balanced fertilizer once a month. The plant will keep pushing out new shoots from the remaining rhizomes. As those mature over the following months, you can harvest them the same way, always taking from the oldest outermost sections and leaving the younger growth to continue developing. I've had ginger plants going for 3 years using this method, and they just keep expanding and producing. Now for that bonus tip I promised. Every piece of ginger you harvest using this method can become a brand new plant. See those little bumps or eyes on the rhizome you just cut? Each one of those can sprout into a new shoot. So take your harvested piece, cut off what you need for the kitchen, and save a section with at least 2 or 3 eyes. Let the cut end dry for a day or 2 so it calluses over. This prevents rot. Then plant it about 2 inches deep in fresh potting mix, eyes facing up. Keep it warm and moist, and in 2 to 3 weeks you'll see new shoots emerging. I do this every single time I harvest, and honestly, I've got more ginger plants now than I know what to do with. It's a great way to share with friends or expand your own growing setup without ever buying seed ginger again. So that's everything you need to know to keep your ginger growing and producing indefinitely. No more digging up the whole plant and starting over. Just selective harvests, a little patience, and you'll have fresh ginger whenever you want it. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Drop any questions in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.